Hey, Sarah Monroe. Welcome to the Plan to Prosper Small Business Academy. I got a question for you.
Okay.
You ready for it?
Yes.
Are you an entrepreneur?
Yes.
Well, that is the only qualification to get into the academy. Congratulations, ma'am, and welcome.
Thank you.
So, first of all, tell the audience who you are and what you do.
Definitely. So my name is Sarah, and I'm the owner of Monroe Media, which is an agency that has two parts. It has a course design part called Impactful Courses, and then a web design portion called Purposeful Designs. So basically, I help entrepreneurs and business owners and content creators take whatever ideas they have and make more money from them, make more of an impact from them, and all around just have less stress in their life. So that's me.
So you didn't end up there. Tell me where you started. You know the Instagram thing where I started, where I'm at. Tell me how it all started and how you ended up at the place you're at now in your business.
Definitely. So I'll go all the way back to 2010. And that's when I first got started with design. I was actually in high school. I was in private school. And my mom said the only way to get out of private school was to go to a specialty center. And so I got accepted into the Center for Communications. And that's where I learned a lot of graphic design, web design, just all of those like fundamental things that I needed. And so fast forward into college, I started my own business. It was a product based business for CEOs. It was called My CEO Lifestyle, and it was basically like apparel and that type of thing. And then from that, I decided to focus on social media management. So I did social media management. I worked with trainers, lawyers, all that good stuff. And then I realized that they were getting a lot of traction to their website, but they weren't converting as much because, for lack of better terms, their website sucked. So I decided to switch gears a little bit and focus only on like all digital marketing. So social media, web design, all the things, email marketing, all the things. And so I found that that was really helpful to my clients. They were able to, raise their rates, they were able to hit their goals, they were able to help more people, all that good stuff. But
So
then I had to look
presentation matters. So presentation
exactly.
matters. And I wanted to stop you before you went
Hmm.
any further, because a lot of people just build a business in their head and then they think that people will come. But I just wanted to make
Hmm.
note that you saw the need and then
Yeah,
made a business out of that. I think that's very important. So also
definitely.
I wanted to ask you, so you said their websites look like crap. So what does a good website in 2022 at a minimum? Let's say I have $2 and I need to make one page. What needs to
Hmm.
be on there at least at a minimum?
I would say who you serve, of course, what you do, who you serve, and what that transformation is that you get for them. That needs to be there because that's what helps people convert the most. So you want them to know that they're in the right place and that you know exactly what their pain points are, what they need help with, and that you have a solution for those issues. So at the bare minimum, that needs to be on there.
Bare minimum, bare minimum. So you were helping these CEOs. So what feedback did you get to make you realize you needed to this is something that you want to focus on and not just this social media management? I do have another question before we move forward.
Hmm.
So recently I got an education. There's social media management and then there's content creation. I'm a little older. I'm an auntie. I didn't
Hmm.
know it was two different things, Sarah. I didn't
Yeah,
know. So can you explain, as a subject matter expert, what is the difference in the roles?
definitely. So for somebody who's actually creating the content, they're more than likely just really good at creating the graphics. They're expecting you to give them the content, and then they're supposed to like make magic from that, right? So versus the social media manager, she's more so looking at like the analytics, looking at what's converting your audience the best, looking at like all the data and the strategy part of it, and then putting that content together for your social media. So a lot of companies don't have two different roles for that position. So a lot of people are doing it all. But the people who really want their content to convert the best would have both ideally.
So I didn't know recently when I was talking to somebody, I said I wanted one or the other. I can't remember, but I
Hmm.
thought it was one thing. And the person said, "Oh, no, that's not what that is." So I didn't know it was two separate roles. I
Yeah.
guess when you're hiring a person, you just be clear what that means. So I'm leaning to think that sometimes those people who are picking that business up ad hoc might not know the difference.
Yeah, a lot of them don't until it's like overwhelming and they're like, well, I'm supposed to create the graphics and the captions and look at the data and look at this and look at that. And they realize that they're doing work for like several people instead of just like what they actually really love to do.
And as an entrepreneur, I don't know what I
Right.
need. You
Exactly.
have to teach your client really how the service is supposed, because I don't know. I don't know.
Exactly. Exactly. And a
So
lot of times, like I even tell myself and like my clients, like you want to give people what they, you want to sell them what they want, but really give them what they need, right? So even with like courses, you know, like you're selling them what they may want. I watched another episode earlier and it was talking about like working out. So they may want like to lose weight, but you're really giving them what they need, which is, you know, like the mindset, the confidence, you know, like all that other stuff is what they're really getting from working with you potentially in that course, you know? So
yes.
yeah, definitely have to keep that in
Since you're
mind.
talking about courses, so let's talk about the current. So now in the current state of your business, you've blown up. You're a mogul now, so it's two different enterprises under you. Can we say your age? I just want people to, 'cause,
Yeah.
I'm the auntie generation. A lot of my listeners are aunties, and we just
Mhm.
need to know how early you've been on and popping.
Yeah, so I'm about to be 27. My birthday is on April 12th. So yeah,
Happy birthday!
thank
Happy
you.
birthday!
So yeah,
And you're the 12th episode, is by the way.
thank you. I'm so
So
excited.
we did that on purpose. No, we didn't. So with the course create, so under you is the website. So we talked about the essentials of website. So let's talk about when a business owner, or what kind of business owner, should consider creating a course. When is it time to consider that?
Yeah, so a lot of my clients come to me in different phases of their business, right? So some people may come to me when they are trying to establish their credibility. They've had a few clients, they've gotten results for them, but now they really want to be able to scale that and really establish themselves. So they create a course. The same as like when a speaker writes a book, kind of similar to that. On the other hand, I have entrepreneurs who come to me or business owners who they're at their capacity. Like they're experiencing burnout. They may still be working their corporate job and they want to stay there. Yep, you're one of the but all the things. And so at this point, they really just want to be able to increase their revenue and their impact because a lot of them really care about like the impact and like that transformation that they're getting for their clients. They really care about that. So a lot of them want more money, more impact with a course. Like they don't want to sacrifice any more time. Like they want to spend time with their families, all that good stuff. So those are pretty much like the two different audiences that I personally serve. Majority of my clients, however, are on they're about to experience burnout. They want to create a new revenue stream. Let's do the course. So
And you're free to talk about me. You're free to talk about me. So Sarah is the person who. What is it? What is your role? What did you do for me? 'Cause what do you call that?
designed your course.
She designed the course Accounting Basis for Entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
And so talk about the process. If somebody were to come to you and say, okay, I've been speaking, talking, writing all this time, and I want to create a course. Where would you start in that? What should I have before I come to you? Because I was all over the place. So yeah.
Well, you don't need to have anything besides the idea. So when you come
Okay.
to me, we talk about your idea, make sure it's actually going to be profitable, make sure that there's a market for that. Depending on, you know, where you are in business, if you have like a need for your product or not, we'll do some market research just to see what else is out there. Is this product needed? All that good stuff. See what your audience needs, like who they are, how they learn, that type of thing. And then from there, we start actually breaking down the course. So, like, what is going to be included, what is absolutely going to be needed to get them from point A to point B, not point A to point Z, but just from point A to point B. Because once they get that first transformation from you, then they are ready to run with it. And not only that, they're ready to tell other people that will also bring you in more students in your course or program. So that is like the place I would tell you guys to start. And then of course you go down to like the visuals and all that good stuff.
So what I would say from my vantage point, it was a lot of work to even think about it because I had so much information
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out what should be included, how we need to. So it was good to have somebody to guide me. And I think I should say this is probably fifth iteration of that course in one way or another,
Mhm.
and it was really the best process and experience of pulling that stuff together. So I want to talk about. So you name some things that that there are other people on the market don't do, like the market research, vetting your idea, and even a lot of people who I coach, they put a lot of money into something that's not a good business idea.
Mhm.
So, what makes a good business in general that can convert and bring a transformation? You can give an example. You can use me. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, so it just needs to be very specific. Like you really need to know exactly what that result is going to be for who that specific person is that you're marketing to. So who's your ideal client or student, and then what do they desire the most, and what can you help them get results from? So once you put all of that together, that really is like your course idea. And so, for example, I do have a client right now who is creating a course about divorce made easy. And so it's really, like even when you think of like the name of your course and like all of that good stuff, you really want it to be very clear. Even accounting basics for entrepreneurs, like you can't mess that up. Like you know exactly what you're going to get, you know exactly what you can expect, and so that's really when courses convert the best because people aren't confused, right? So when people are confused, they're not going to buy. But we want
So we
them to
don't have
be
to have
like,
a
right,
snappy alliteration of a name.
right, right. So,
And even in that process, just outlining the course and then not having to think about the work of it. All I had to do was get the content
hmm
and then later record. But we can talk about that. But it made the process much easier. So who so what I wanted to pick up on something you said before. So it must mean that it's best if you have worked in this field or in this subject or have some experience with, like the lady, she has experience with divorce. But you should not start entrepreneurship. Today is my new business. Oh, I want to create a course. Does that normally not work well unless they're bringing some prior experience, I
right,
guess?
yeah, you definitely want to be, I say the word expert, but you definitely want to be established in whatever the subject matter is that you're talking about. People can see through fluff, honestly. And so if you are putting out something and people, for lack of better terms, like you don't know what you're talking about fully, like people can tell, and so that can really hurt like your credibility and your trust with your audience. And so you really want to be known for something and you already want to have results for people. So whether that's like you have a few one-on-one clients that you've gotten results from and now you're going to create a course, or you've been in this field for over 10 years and now you're moving to this online space. So you may not have that online experience. However, you still have experience in that field, which still makes you an expert on that topic. So you definitely want to, have experience in that niche, if you will, to ensure that you don't need to know everything, but you should know more than the person that you're teaching.
I agree. I agree. So I wonder, what is the difference between, say, how do I know what thing I need to put in a course and what I need to keep as a service offering, or are there levels to that?
Yeah, so it all just depends on like your product suite, and that's something that I do help my clients with. We look at, okay, where does your course fit in with like your whole product suite, like your marketing ecosystem, how things are going to work together. And so in that, yeah, like if your service needs one-on-one attention, if you feel like they're going to need extra support, if this isn't something that you can kind of just hand over to them, let them go at it on their own, and then they're good to go with that transformation, then that's definitely a service that you want to keep on the side, that you can either upsell to your audience or even downsell in some ways. So yeah.
So I know that you are an agency and this is your business, but what would you say for somebody who's going to go on their own, very simple, maybe a mini course or workshop? What should they have at a minimum to make that first effort?
Yeah, so you mean like as far as like their marketing, like their product
Yeah, or
suite?
no, like creating a course. If they want to create a course on their own, they're
Mhm.
not ready to come to you. They don't have the coins yet, and maybe
Mhm.
they want to create something simple, like we talked about with the website. What's the
Mhm.
minimum that they need to do that?
Yeah, so I would just say make sure you have like all of your content pre-prepared. Like write it all out before you start designing anything. Um, Make sure that you have something tangible that your audience can walk away with from your course. I think that's really important. And also, just get to the point. Like, try to eliminate as
Mm.
much fluff as
Are
you
you talking
can.
to me, Sarah?
No.
Just get to the point.
But yeah, you definitely, and when you think about like your investment that people are going to be making into your business, you want them to walk away feeling like empowered, but also feeling like they got more than what they paid for, right? And so, not saying that your prices need to be cheap, because I'm definitely not, a person that like teaches that or talks about that. However, you do need to make sure that the value is there and that people are absolutely happy with what they're going to get.
So can you give us some examples of the benefits? Just not no names, the names that have been changed to protect the innocent or your clients. Like what kind of transformation? Like they spent an hour of their time doing blah blah blah, but when they put it in a course, they were able to scale it to what? Like what are the possibilities? Or just give us an example.
Yeah, so over I'll talk about which client I want to talk about. Okay, I'll talk about this client. So she recently launched a course, after you actually, but she launched a course, and within her pre-launch phase, so like her early bird phase, she was able to enroll 45 students, and that was $45,000 for her, or over that actually, because her courses at the time was like 1,500. But yeah, and so that's within a week. And for her, when you think about the possibilities, of course, all of my clients, for the most part, see a return on their investment within the first 90 days. However, you really just have to also think about like what, as a business owner and the content creator, like you're still the course creator. I just designed it for you and put it all together and made it all nice and strategic.
Correct.
So like, how are you promoting it? Are you promoting it?
Correct.
All of those different things. So you still do have some responsibility, as a business owner, even after you create the course. But when you feel confident about the course and know that it's top tier and that they can't get this transformation anywhere else, like you feel way more comfortable promoting it and talking about it and selling it versus if you, depending on, who you are, like if you tried to piece it together, you wasn't sure how things were going to work, all of those things, that eliminates all of that for you.
So I think aside from the money piece is good, but I think about it's like multiplying her. Even me. So things I would say over and over and over and over, it's now in a package where you can go
Mm-hmm.
through it and refer back to the content. So it's really increasing, which is why it's called impactful courses. I just got that. I just got it. I'm slow. So, so it's increasing her impact, I think. And that
Definitely.
is really about because our goal is here on this earth is to leave a mark that cannot be removed. And you
Mm-hmm.
cannot do that one person at a time all the time. It takes too long.
Right.
So I really think that the work you're doing God's work. And
Definitely.
I really appreciate even your spirit about going about and really wanting me to have a very good product to put in my product. Like I didn't know anything about an ecosystem or I
Yeah.
didn't know. And so can you talk a little bit about what the whole so it's not just one thing, but it needs to fit in the whole. And you were very concerned even about my other services that it fit and it led people somewhere. So I actually have a funnel. People come into it. So talk a little bit about the need for an ecosystem and not just creating a course in a vacuum.
Yeah, definitely. So you always want to think about where your audience is, currently, where they were before they got to that point, and where they're going to be after they actually finish
Mhm.
whatever your offer is, right? And so let's use you for an example. For your course, we knew that it was accounting basics for entrepreneurs, but where were they before then? So before they can make that investment, like where are they, like what do they need, what information are they looking for that you can provide to them. And so for you, you did the video. At first you had like a checklist, so we kind of like built it out to be more than what you currently had, using the content that you already had, which is very important. Like you already have great work, most business owners do. So it's about just packaging that in a way that then just helps your business excel. So for you, we have the checklist that leads to the video, that leads to the course, that leads to other offers that you have, and then you have a membership and all that good stuff. But it's really just about, how are people going to start with you and then end with you? And a lot of times that first investment that they make, whether it's time or money, it needs to be good, and more than likely it's probably on the lower end if you are charging. So think like $7, $17, $21, $27, typically under 30. But yeah, and you can also do like master
So
classes.
it builds up. It needs to build
Exactly.
up as people are getting familiar with you.
Yeah, as they trust you, it really is what it is. So most people already want to spend the money with you. They're going to spend the money regardless. They're going to spend it. So are they going to spend it with you, or are they going to spend it with somebody else? And if they can trust you, if they make that investment, let's say it's a $27 offer, they make that investment, they get value from it, then they want to go ahead and move on to the next stage because they're like, wow, I paid $27, got all of this value. I was able to take these steps to get this transformation, and now I'm ready for the next step.
So the focus is transformation. And I think in this new culture of coaches and people who want people to get rich quick, I
hmm
think that is very important that we keep the client in mind, keep the customer in mind, and ensuring that they are getting an impact. So I like that you keep staring it back there. So I've had a lot of, before coming to you, I had a lot of experiences that were not that. And I left walking away disappointed and kind of not feeling seen. And I feel like I wanted people I wanted to give my money to people who make me feel the way I want my clients to feel. And I feel like you made me feel seen. So I'm giving you your
Oh.
flowers today on the Plan to Prosper Small Business Academy, and want to make sure that people know how would they get in contact. Let's say I'm ready, I got content, I've got a million clients I've served, I got a little experience. How do I reach out to you? Where are you and where can you be found?
Definitely. So you can always DM me on Instagram at Monroe Media, and on there you'll find my business pages. But of course, you can also go to my business website, so impactfulcourses.co or purposefuldesigns.co. So either one. So yeah, so you can just reach out to me that way. You can schedule a call. If you want to just find out more about my services and like the prices, all that good stuff, you can download that on my website. But yeah, everything is there. I'm always happy to hop on a quick sales call with you to go over everything, make sure that you're a good fit for me as well. Because, we do only work with certain clients, just like I hope that you only work with certain businesses. So,
Yes.
so yeah, so that's how we can get started.
But even for those who don't work, I think that just following your pages has been helpful for me. It's very inspirational. You can talk about your mommy life, all the things you're doing. You get up a lot earlier than me. Like she's like saying, and I've done this, and I've done. I'm like, oh, I'm still in the bed. How do you do all that? How do you balance it?
Well, I don't like the word balance because I always feel like that whenever you're focusing on one thing, you're always not focusing on something else. So I don't know how much balance
Mm.
it is.
We need a new word. We need a new word then. We got to
How do
figure that
you
out.
juggle 80 things at once? but
Yes.
but yeah, I really just try to prioritize, my time. I am trying to focus more on family and like the things that I value the most, just like I help my clients do. So I really am trying to take a step back and focus on that more. But overall, just time management, priorities, and just making sure that I'm doing my very best each and every day and giving myself grace, knowing that my best may be different each day, but that's
Exactly. Oh, I
okay.
like that. Yeah. And you
Yeah.
have a team. You do have help.
Yeah,
That helps. That helps. Not
definitely.
trying to do everyone, and many times when I'm working with one-on-one clients and we're trying to prioritize, I'm like, you don't need a Range Rover, honey. You need to hire an assistant.
Right.
You're spending your
Yeah.
money, but you're exhausted, you
Yeah.
know. So
And
that
don't even have
investment in
time.
building exactly to drive it. So,
Right.
building a team is very important. So how have you been doing handling your transition, building an empire, the two sides? How are you handling that, and what have you learned even in that experience?
That is not easy. This
Mm.
transition, this phase is not easy at all. You think when people say like, "Oh, just hire someone," like you think it's like, "Oh yeah, like I'm going to hire them," and tomorrow, like all the weight is going to be off my shoulders, and that has definitely not been my testimony at all. However, they have been very helpful to me I love like the environment that I'm creating for them, like a group of women who really love like working for my company. And I love being able to help them excel, help them grow, help them learn new techniques, new skills to get fast, just all the things. I love it being like more of a partnership than just like them being my employees. Um, so that's where I am right now. I have a team of, I believe it's four and a half of us, I would say, right now. So that's pretty much where I am, mostly on the course design side. I'm still very heavy in the web design part of my business right now. Um, but yeah, but it's
So
been
how
hard.
hard is it to let go? Because this is your baby. So is it
Yeah,
hard to give tasks to somebody else, something that you did, even though you might have been exhausted doing it, it was something that you love. So how hard is it to hand something off?
it's very hard. I don't really have no other way to describe it. Like it's just really hard because you know that it's not going to be done the same way you would do it. You know that, and not saying that's a bad thing. It's just different than how you would have done it. You know that there probably going to need to be revisions, so you're thinking about adding padding time to whatever the turnaround time is for the client to ensure
Mm.
that it's not delayed for them. You have to be so much more proactive instead of reactive. You know, as that like leader of this business now, as that true CEO. So it's been definitely a transition, especially since I am still working with clients during this process of training people and all that good stuff. So it's been a journey, but I feel like I can see the light. So that's good.
Well, thank you so much and for letting us get into your business. That's what we do at the Plan to Prosper Small Business Academy. We don't want to just know how wonderful you are. We need to know how you do what you do so we can get there. There's so many business owners that need to understand how to build a team. So somebody right now is listening where they're clicking on their computer and they don't want to let something go. So hopefully
Hmm.
that even this little portion of today's broadcast help them with learning how to let go. And so I thank you, one, for being my course designer. All of your information will be in the show notes and on YouTube. We're broadcast everywhere. And so people can reach out to you and they can enroll in my course, Accounting Basics for Entrepreneurs,
Yes.
created by Sarah Monroe, impactful courses. So thank you for sharing time with us. I know you're a busy lady. Please come back again if you have something jumping off, you want to tell us, or even if you want to vent. We like vent sessions. You can come, you would change the names to protect the innocent business owners, and you can come back and let us know if there are new technologies and courses or things that we need to know. Thank you so much.
Thank you.